Well, the U.S. women's national team are W Gold Cup champions after a 1-0 win over Brazil. I apologize, Duda.
That's why we brought her up.
They brought the tissues here, that's why. As possible. But right now, we are absolutely thrilled to welcome in our good friend Jenny Chiu, who is pitch side for this win for the United States. Hello, Jenny. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Susanna. I am well. You know, the United States won last night. It was a great tournament. 31,500 people were at the stadium. It was wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think a lot of people shared the same opinion as you, that the U.S. weren't necessarily the outright favorites to win this competition, and yet they were able to kind of grit out this win against a very good Brazil side. When you look at the performance that they put in last night, how were they able to do that?
Yeah, I think that's interesting, Susanna. I mean, obviously the goal with Lindsay Horan, and Emily Fox gets her first assist of the tournament, and then Lindsay Horan with the header. I think that you have to mark Lindsay Horan in that box because you know she's going to try to get ahead on the ball. But yeah, like you mentioned, it wasn't a great win. It wasn't a great performance from the United States. But you know what? The fact that they found a way to win without making it beautiful or pretty is something that they've been talking about. You know, just make sure that you find a way to win, and they were able to do that. So we go from there. You know, we saw a lot of growth throughout the tournament.
Jenny, you did an amazing job covering the tournament from start to finish. What was your favorite part? What was your favorite moment from being there and being on the ground?
Oh, you know what my answer is, and then it seems bad, but I think Mexico beating the U.S. was really a monumental moment for Mexican football, for the Federation, for all of the players that I played side by side with, and the respect that we had gotten, or the support we had gotten at that point that I was with the national team to now, to see all of the fans coming in and watching Mexico and cheering them on, and all the support that they're getting. They have so many, you know, technical staff with them now, and all the professionalism that they've been given. It was really massive for me to see, and to see that kind of turn out into a win against the United States was beautiful. But obviously just the United States being able to turn around from that was awesome. Obviously experiencing the USA-Canada game was pretty wild. I don't love the rain and the puddles that I experienced, but it really was one of those historic moments to be a part of, you know?
Jenny, you mentioned the rain. You couldn't do anything about that, but your positioning behind the goal in the pregame probably needs to be rediscussed. I'll say that. But anyway, glad you're safe. I'm just curious, where is the U.S. right now for you in their progression of where they want to be leading into the Olympics right now?
I think that this tournament, Tony, really set them up in a way that they've gotten closer to their Olympic pool, right? Or their She Believes Cup pool, shall we say. Because before, I think that we had a lot of lock-ins in terms of who was going to, you know, be in certain positions just because of their name or because of, you know, the history with the team. Now this tournament allowed so many different people to get playing time and for them to showcase their skills and what they could do for the team. And really those young players stepped up, obviously Jaden Shaw being one of them, Sam Coffey being one of those massive players. And I thought Tierna Davidson also solidified herself back on this roster after being left off the World Cup roster last time around. So I think that we're closer to the Olympic team you want. And then once you get to that team, a lot of the movements we saw in the group stage and the free-flowing football we saw, I think, is what they want. Obviously, the last three games had different things. You know, the Colombia game was very aggressive and physically oriented. Obviously, the Canada game was not a game that we can talk about tactically or technically. It wasn't a football match, in my opinion. And then this game, they didn't play that well against Brazil. So these last three matches have been difficult to kind of decide what this team is. But I think that we leave with having opinions about certain players and certain systems that really worked out, and the fact that they're able to shift and be flexible in the way that their formation has been lovely to see. They're changing formations within the game, something we didn't see from them from the Women's World Cup. So I think that's been good, Tony.
Jenny, let's talk a little bit about Brazil now. You know I'll always find a way to do that. I see Brazil and the U.S. kind of going through the same generation now. They're all changing the new generation, bringing their new players in. How was it for you to watch Brazil, and what impressed you the most? They're bringing young players, like Nigel mentioned, Tarciani, one of his favorite ones. Did something impress you? How was it for you?
Oh my gosh, dude, of course Brazil impressed. Heading into this game, after they played against Mexico, as much as it hurt my heart that the red card, changed things for the game, I will say.
Sorry.
I said Brazil is the one to beat in this tournament. I think that they are outstanding. The fact that they have 11 different goal scorers heading into this final shows you just how much depth they have. I think it's incredibly impressive to have so many different goal scorers, the way that they play together. I was a little concerned that the back line and the goalkeeper, Luciana, hadn't been tested much, but I think that's probably due to Arthur Elias's tactics and being able to be on the attack most of the time. They really do throw numbers forward, and it's impressive to see. They do shoot a lot from outside, but they're missing the frame quite a bit. You see that there in that shot. I think in the first half, the first 15 minutes, they had like 6 shots, and the United States was put on their back heels, and I was thinking, wow, this might be a long match for the United States. But they were all off frame. They were all off frame, Duda. Why?
Jenny, I wanted to ask you, there was so much pressure leading into this for USA. What was the feeling being on the ground amongst the players and amongst the fans? Was it just pure relief?
After they won?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was relief. I think relief feels a little bit different. I think it was genuine happiness. Relief you felt from different players throughout the tournament, right? Alex Morgan scoring that penalty kick after not having scored for the national team in almost a year, that was relief coming off of her shoulders. Them winning the Colombia match after losing to Mexico, that was relief coming off their shoulders. You can feel that they were like holding it in and they needed to perform in certain aspects. But this wasn't very much relief. This was happiness. They were really excited. I don't think that they were really thinking about the performance. They were thinking they are expected to win tournaments, and they did exactly that. So I think they go back and they study this film later. But right now, they just get to enjoy this. And I think that, after such a long tournament, after a long camp, being with each other day in and day out, I've been in those camps. It is not easy, and you want to get your own space, your own time. You want to get away and enjoy the win and kind of reset for yourself.
Jenny, we've waited a long time for a W CONCACAF to happen here. How important for women's football is this competition, and how much does it get the flavor get added to with bringing these South American teams in? And will we see more moving forward? Maybe some European teams. Who knows?
That would be beautiful, Tony. I like the idea. Pitch it, please. Make sure you get a trademark and some money for it, because we do want to see this high-level competition, right? As we talked about, CONCACAF level has increased. All of the teams came with more, and the U.S. was not only surprised but impressed with how all the CONCACAF teams had improved over the years, right? Alex Morgan had mentioned after the win against Mexico that this is not the Mexico we played 14 years ago. All around the world, all the teams are improving as well. But having these CONMEBOL teams has been incredible, for Brazil to be the team in the final, the CONMEBOL team that was invited, Argentina, Colombia, all of these teams to have performed so well and show us what they have, but also the viewership aspect, right? You're showcasing all of these different players. They get to have the cadence of preparing for an Olympic. That was something that I talked to with all of the players. The physical demands of playing every couple of days was something that, while they can be told about it from the veteran players, this is what it's going to be like. It's going to be incredibly difficult. Now they've experienced it. Now they know what their body needs to go through and on the days in between. So that experience is incredibly important for all of the teams that are going to the Olympics. But really, I think the showcasing aspect, Tony, really stood out to me, because you think about a team like Mexico. I'm sorry, like Duda, I also want to talk about Mexico in my country. They didn't play in the last couple of World Cups. They're not playing in the Olympics. So when will they be showcased? When can they show what Liga MX has done in the last 7 years? In a tournament like this, you get to see that those players and the foundation that they have built in Mexico is working. And I think that proving that is very important. And to get to see the fans. I mean, there was Mexico crowds in the entire group stage. I'm telling you right now, those stadiums were green, whether they were playing the United States or not.
Yeah, awesome scenes. Jenny, I want to echo Marco's sentiments. You did a tremendous job covering this tournament. I hope you have a good break and enjoy some time with family up next. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, stay dry.
Thank you guys, always. Thank you. Have a great morning.
Thank you, Jenny.